Hey there. Ready for some market action?
You betcha.
We're going behind the scenes with,
Oh, yeah.
January 13th, 2025
Cool.
with the Benzinga pre-market playbook
All right.
and the Trader Bacon Show.
Cool.
One's giving us kind of like the pulse of the day's trading,
Okay.
and the other a fascinating interview
Oh, cool.
with the trader
Okay.
who's got a pretty unique background.
All right. Sounds good.
I think you'll find it interesting.
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
So what's interesting is
Yeah.
how these sources capture a snapshot of the market
Mm-hmm.
at a very specific moment.
Okay.
It's like,
Yeah.
we can practically feel the anticipation
Right.
of the opening bell.
Oh, for sure.
And I think we'll uncover some valuable insights along the way.
I hope so, yeah.
So the Benzinga playbook is
Cool.
painting a bit of a nervous picture, right?
How so?
U.S. stock futures
Yeah.
are indicating a lower open
Okay.
after last week's drop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was a rough one.
And they're saying the market is reacting to,
Yeah.
well, a few things, actually.
Well,
Upcoming economic data,
right. Great.
start of earnings season,
Makes sense.
and news about potential
Oh.
new tariffs.
Oh, interesting.
They're calling them Trump 2.0 tariffs,
Ah, okay.
I
Yeah,
guess,
yeah.
which I guess refers to
Mhm.
their similarity to policies from back in the 2020s.
Oh, well, yeah, right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, it seems like there's this big question mark
Yeah.
hanging over everything.
Mm-hmm.
Is this dip a buying opportunity, or are we heading for more trouble?
That is the question.
Right.
Yeah.
And the Benzinga playbook actually
Okay.
presents both sides of the argument.
Oh, interesting.
So some analysts are saying buy the dip,
Go.
pointing to,
Yeah.
the 10-year Treasury yield
Right.
and historical trends,
Hmm.
where drops like this
Yeah.
have often been followed by rebounds.
Okay. Interesting.
Like what goes down must come up.
Yeah. Yeah. Buy low, sell high.
Exactly. But then you have others who are more cautious,
Right. Right.
especially with the uncertainty
Yeah.
surrounding those potential tariffs.
Mhm.
They're saying
Yeah.
they could throw a real wrench into things,
For sure. Yeah. Uh-huh.
mess it all up.
Definitely a factor.
Right.
Mhm.
And what I found particularly interesting was that
Yeah.
Benzinga ran a poll
Okay.
on this very question.
Right.
Is this dip buyable?
Makes sense.
And the results
Yeah.
almost perfectly split down the middle.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
With seasoned traders
Mm-hmm.
seemingly divided on the answer.
No kidding.
It's almost like 50-50.
Wow. Wow.
It definitely highlights how
Yeah.
there's no crystal ball in the markets,
All right.
even for the pros.
Nope. Definitely not. Yeah.
They don't know
They don't.
any more than we do.
I guess not.
And that's why
Yeah.
it's so important for you to understand,
Yeah.
the various factors
Mhm.
influencing the market
Right.
and form your own conclusions.
Okay.
You have to be able to weigh the different viewpoints
Right.
and make informed decisions
Yeah.
that align with,
Mhm.
your own risk tolerance
For sure.
and investment goals.
Of course. Yeah.
Makes sense?
It does. Yeah.
Now,
You're right.
let's talk about some
Yeah.
specific companies
Okay.
making headlines.
All right.
So first up,
Mhm.
we've got pharma company FIO.
Okay.
They are grabbing attention
Oh.
with news of
Yeah.
their cancer study.
Okay.
So it's only phase 1B,
Mm-hmm.
but 2 patients
Yeah.
showed complete tumor clearance.
Oh, wow.
Pretty remarkable.
Yeah. That is.
Right.
That's very promising. Yeah.
It's certainly encouraging,
Mm-hmm.
but as they pointed out,
Right.
the sample size is incredibly small
Of course. Yeah.
at this stage.
Yeah.
It's definitely way too early
Right.
to draw any firm conclusions
Sure. Yeah.
about,
Uh-huh.
the treatment's effectiveness.
Right.
Plus,
Yeah.
they mentioned FIO has a history
Right.
of raising capital
Mm-hmm.
through stock offerings,
Okay.
which is something to consider
Mm-hmm.
if you're thinking about
Yeah.
investing,
Right. For sure. Mm-hmm.
because that could mean potential dilution
Right. Right.
down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, moving on.
Okay.
Madna
All right.
is taking a hit today.
Really?
They've lowered their sales forecast
Okay.
for their COVID-19 vaccine booster,
Right. Right.
and the stock's down
Wow.
almost 20%.
That's a big drop.
Makes you wonder
Yeah.
about the future for these vaccine companies,
Right.
especially if we're truly moving past the pandemic phase.
Right.
You know?
Uh-huh.
Like, is there going to be a future for them?
Right. What's the long game?
The market seems to be
Yeah.
pricing in that uncertainty.
It seems that way. Yeah.
Speaking of looking ahead,
Okay.
MicroStrategy is also down,
Mm.
and they're blaming it
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Bitcoin's slide
Oh.
ahead of some key inflation data.
Okay.
That's a
Yeah.
classic example of how
Mhm.
interconnected everything
Right.
is.
Oh.
Right. MicroStrategy has bet big on Bitcoin.
For sure.
So their fate
Yeah.
is very much tied to its performance.
Absolutely. They're pretty much joined at the hip.
And then you have Verifime,
Okay.
a cybersecurity company,
All right.
defying the overall trend.
Interesting. How so?
They're continuing their upward momentum
Okay.
from last week,
Mm.
showing
Yeah.
really impressive gains.
Wow. Really?
Pretty cool.
Yeah. That's interesting.
What's fascinating here
Mm-hmm.
is
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
this suggests that cybersecurity might be a somewhat defensive sector
Right. Right.
in this current market climate.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So with all this uncertainty
Mm-hmm.
elsewhere,
Right.
investors might be
Yeah.
seeking haven
Right.
in companies
Yeah.
focused on
Uh-huh.
protecting data and systems,
Right.
which are always in demand.
Oh, for sure.
That's
Yeah.
a great point.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Okay.
let's shift gears a little bit
All right.
and talk about
Okay.
the Trader Bacon Show.
Cool.
They have this interview
Mm-hmm.
with a trader
Okay.
named Court.
All right.
And his story
Mm.
is pretty unique.
Okay.
He's a former
Mm.
professional athlete,
Interesting.
and he actually learned to trade
Wow.
from a mentor
Okay.
who was teaching these
Hmm.
smart money concepts
Right.
long before they became popular.
That's pretty cool.
It's interesting how Court draws parallels
Mm-hmm.
between his athletic training
Right.
and his approach to trading.
Yeah.
He talks about,
Mm-hmm.
the discipline, the
Mhm.
focus,
Mm-hmm.
the ability
Yeah.
to execute a plan,
Right.
even under pressure.
For sure.
Skills that are valuable
Mm-hmm.
in both arenas.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And he breaks down his
Yeah.
risk management strategy,
Mm-hmm.
which is all about
Mm-hmm.
carefully calculating position size
Okay.
based on
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the amount of risk
Great. It
he's willing to take
makes sense.
on each trade.
Yeah.
It's a really smart approach
Yeah.
instead of, just jumping in
Right.
with whatever amount
Yeah.
feels right at the
Mhm.
moment.
Right.
He has a systematic way
Okay.
of determining
Yeah.
the appropriate position size
Mm.
to protect his capital.
Very smart.
This ensures he can stay in the game
Right.
even when some
Right.
trades
Mhm.
inevitably go against him.
For sure.
It's interesting
Yeah.
because he says
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't get hung up
Okay.
on specific strategies,
Interesting.
but he stressed the importance
Yeah.
of finding an approach that
Mhm.
works for you
Right.
and consistently applying it.
Right. Right.
So it's less about
Okay.
the specific strategy
Mm-hmm.
and more about the discipline
Yeah, I like that.
to stick to
Mhm.
whatever you decide on.
I see.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
He emphasizes that,
Right.
it's about having a plan,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's based on
Right.
technical analysis,
Mm.
fundamental analysis, or
Yeah.
combination of both.
For sure.
And once you have that plan,
Yeah.
you need the discipline
Mm-hmm.
to follow it,
Right.
even when emotions are running high.
Of course.
Like
Yeah.
that's where the real test is.
Oh, yeah. That's the hardest part.
Okay, now he did show some examples
Okay.
of his trades,
Mhm.
and it seems like he focuses on
Okay.
what he calls fair value gaps
All right.
and inversions,
Okay. Wow.
which sound pretty technical,
They do.
but from what I gathered,
Mm-hmm.
it's all about looking for moments
Okay.
when the market is shifting direction,
Got it. Uh-huh.
trying to identify
Mhm.
those points
Yeah.
where there's a temporary imbalance
Right.
between
Yeah.
buyers and sellers,
Makes sense.
which creates an opportunity for a quick and calculated entry.
Right. Right.
But the key is
Yeah.
to have those entry and exit points
Right.
clearly defined
Mm-hmm.
beforehand,
Okay.
just like a pregame plan
Right. Right.
in
Yep.
sports.
Right.
And that's where his athlete background
Yeah.
really shines through.
I bet.
He talks about
Mm-hmm.
having this game plan
Right.
and sticking to it.
Yeah.
Even when things get chaotic
Right.
in trading,
Yeah.
that translates to
Mm-hmm.
having clear entry
Mhm.
and exit points
Right.
and managing your risk
Yeah.
like a pro.
Makes sense.
He also emphasized the importance of taking profits
Okay.
early
Mm-hmm.
and often.
Right. His philosophy is that no one can predict the exact path
Yeah.
a stock will take.
Nope.
So it's crucial to lock in profits while you have them.
Right. Well, you can.
This way, you're steadily growing your account,
Right.
even if you don't always capture the full potential of a trade.
I see. Yeah.
You know, leave a little on the table.
Right. Don't be greedy.
Exactly.
Now back to the Benzinger playbook.
Okay.
There were a few other companies
Yeah.
they highlighted
Okay.
that I found interesting. First, there's Solarius Pharmaceuticals,
Okay.
ticker SLRX. They're merging
Okay.
with a company that focuses on treatments for rare diseases.
All right.
And the stock is surging.
Wow. Really?
Mergers and acquisitions can definitely be catalysts for big moves in the market.
For sure.
In this case, investors seem to be optimistic
Okay.
about the potential synergies and growth prospects of a combined company.
Makes sense.
Then there's ATP Corp, ticker ATPC.
Okay.
This one seems a little more speculative, but it's seeing unusual volume.
Interesting.
And recently filed a form with the SEC.
Oh, okay.
That's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Right.
Anytime you see a stock experiencing unusual price action,
Right.
it's crucial. To do your homework,
Of course.
you need to understand their financials, their business model, and assess the potential risks involved
For sure.
before making any decisions.
All right. Absolutely.
Right. It's tempting to chase those big moves.
Right.
But you really need to understand what's driving them.
For sure.
Okay, here's another one.
Okay.
Sage Therapeutics. Ticker. Sage. Apparently, their potential buyout target for Biogen,
Interesting.
buyout rumors can send stocks soaring, but it's important to remember that not all deals actually go through.
Brewers,
And in this case, Sage's stock price already seems to be reflecting a lot of that optimism. So there's a lot of risk baked in there.
Right.
If the deal falls apart for whatever reason, you could see a significant correction.
That's the risk. Yeah.
Exactly. It's a high risk, high reward situation.
Makes sense.
Speaking of risk,
Okay.
let's not forget about Bitcoin
Right.
and its impact on related stocks
Okay.
like MicroStrategy. The Benzinga playbook mentioned that Bitcoin is sliding ahead of some key inflation data.
Right.
And one analyst even pointed out a potential head and shoulders pattern forming on the Bitcoin chart.
Interesting.
Yeah, he said there's a critical neckline around $91,000.
Okay.
And if Bitcoin breaks below that level, it could signal more trouble ahead.
I see.
That would obviously have implications for MicroStrategy as well.
Of course.
Technical analysis can be a helpful tool, but it's important to use it in conjunction with other factors, such as market sentiment and fundamental analysis. And speaking of sentiment, there seems to be a lot of uncertainty swirling around the markets right now. Even that Benzinga poll we discussed earlier showed a near even split on whether this dip is a buying opportunity. That's why it's more important than ever to have a well-defined trading plan and stick to your risk management rules.
Absolutely.
This isn't the time to be making impulsive decisions based on fear of missing out.
No, definitely not.
Good point. Oh, there's one more company I wanted to mention, Lululemon. They obviously raised their earnings and revenue guidance for Q4, which is usually a good sign, but the stock actually sold off on the news.
Seriously?
It seems that even positive news can be punished in a bearish market environment.
That's crazy.
It really shows how the overall market sentiment can overshadow even strong company performance.
Wow, that's wild.
Okay, before we move on to our final takeaway for today, I wanted to address a comment that popped up in the Benzinga chat.
Okay.
Someone asked, you know, you and I share our own trades in real time.
Right.
That's a fair question, but it's important to understand why we don't do that.
Right.
There's a delay in the stream. So what might seem like a good entry point for us could be long gone by the time someone sees it. Plus, we don't want anyone blindly following our trades without understanding the reasoning and context behind them.
Right, for sure.
Right? Our goal is to help you develop your own skills and judgment as a trader, not just to provide signals.
Right.
We're all about sharing our knowledge and insights.
Right.
But ultimately, you are responsible for your own trading decisions.
Of course.
Let's wrap up with a final thought.
All right.
Both sources touched on the importance of risk management and discipline. But they also highlighted another crucial element for long-term success.
What's that?
Adaptability.
Oh, interesting.
Right? Court talked about how his trading style has evolved over time as he's gained experience and learned from his mistakes.
Makes sense.
And the Benzinga playbook showed how even seasoned analysts can have differing opinions. Where the market is headed.
For sure.
It's fascinating how the markets are constantly changing.
Right.
New technologies emerge, economic conditions shift, and geopolitical events can cause sudden volatility. It's almost like a living, breathing organism.
I like that.
Exactly. So being a successful trader isn't about finding the perfect strategy and sticking to it rigidly. It's about being flexible, adaptable, and willing to refine your approach as the market evolves.
Makes sense.
It's like a continuous learning process. Always staying up to date on market trends, exploring new ideas, and adjusting your strategies as needed.
For sure. And that's where continuous learning comes in. Staying up to date on market trends, exploring new ideas, and being willing to adjust your strategies as needed is crucial.
Definitely.
Makes you think about what other skills or experiences could translate well to trading from seemingly unrelated fields.
Like from completely different walks of life.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a really interesting thought.
It is, yeah.
You know, Court's background got me thinking about the parallels between athletes and traders. Both have to perform under pressure.
For sure.
Manage risk. And constantly adapt to changing circumstances.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like they both need that mental toughness and discipline.
Totally, yeah.
Imagine the focus it takes to be a professional athlete. And then apply that same level of focus to analyzing charts, making trades. And managing your emotions when things aren't going your way.
Oh, that's tough.
Exactly. There's a reason why we often hear about successful traders coming from backgrounds, sports, or even the military. Those experiences can instill a level of discipline and resilience that's invaluable in the markets.
For sure.
So maybe we need to start scouting athletes for Wall Street. But jokes aside, I think it's a powerful reminder that success in trading isn't just about technical skills or knowledge. It's also about having the right mindset.
Absolutely.
Couldn't agree more. It's about developing that mental edge, the ability to stay calm under pressure, learn from your mistakes, and keep pushing forward even when the market throws you a curveball.
It will.
Well, on that note, I think we've given you a lot to think about today.
I hope so.
From market volatility and hot stocks to valuable insights from a trader with a truly unique perspective.
He is pretty interesting.
We've covered a lot of ground, and hopefully you've gained a deeper understanding of what's driving the markets today and how to approach trading with a more informed and strategic mindset.
Of course.
We talked about the importance of critical thinking, risk management, and adaptability, all crucial skills for navigating this ever-changing financial landscape.
Absolutely.
And we explored some specific companies and market trends that are worth paying attention to, especially as we head into earnings season and continue to grapple with broader economic uncertainty.
For sure.
So until next time, stay curious. Stay informed. And keep learning. And remember, the journey of becoming a successful trader is a marathon, not a sprint.
I like that.
Take your time, develop your skills, and never stop seeking knowledge.
Words to live by.
See you in our next deep dive.
See you where